Hey everyone, it is August 29th, about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. So first of all, the video is not investment advice. Then second of all, we are performing the uptrend, right? So we have this nice little base right here that's kind of curling up, right on just a nice little tiny leg and just kind of peaking up, kind of making this gigantic bear flag pattern in Bitcoin. I do think that Bitcoin right now is going to have to work off some steam. It's probably going to do that through some horizontal consolidation before trying to run yet once again. We do see the alts kind of taking off as well too. So I do think that Bitcoin is probably going to start to top out somewhere in about the 7,500 area. And then from there, a couple things are going to be determined. If we skyrocket through that area, meaning we smash through that area, and before you know, we're about 8,000 or so, that to me is going to change the dynamic of this trade, as we could be lining ourselves up to eclipse the prior 8,500 top. But if we start to reach about the 7,500 area and price starts to stall out, then I think that Bitcoin is in the process of performing yet another smaller move to the upside in this market, meaning that we're just going to continue this series of lower highs and lower lows in this market. So that is currently what I'm looking for in a nutshell in Bitcoin. Again, short term, I'm bullish. Longer term, I'm still bearish. The trend is bearish. I'm not going to try to fight the trend and predict that, you know, crazy numbers that you see. I already see CNBC, some of the mainstream media outlets hyping this up. That's it. This is the bottom. $700 trillion is where Bitcoin's going to by next week, and everyone, you know, is ready for the moon ride. And there's a lot of dusty Lamborghinis on the backside of the moon that a lot of these cryptocurrency guys are just waiting to ride up to, like Tom Lee and etc. But again, there's just something very odd about this move. Like I've talked about in the past, the volume is coming in, it's going out, just like the ocean, just like the waves, in and out, in and out. The volume is very low here, and it's significantly. It's a third lower in most cases, if not more, than prior runs that we've seen. And the one thing I saw during this entire run up was that volume was coming in, going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. And it was worrying me. You can see the aftermath. It was one of the most brutal sell-offs in Bitcoin. And I say that not in the drop severity, but in the way it performed. You can see that during prior drops, there were nice relief rallies. Well, guess what? This time, there were literally none. There were horizontal consolidations to just continuous downslide of selling pressure. And if we enter, and if we are in that same exact zone, like literally the price action is almost identical in this move now, not necessarily the chart, what's happening on the chart, but that volume coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. If we are lining up for that, I think Bitcoin is going to smash through this bottoming area. And if we do that, the question is, does the mid fives to low 5,000 range hold? If not, that's it. I think we easily see the 4,000 range, probably like 4,300 or so, somewhere around there. Now, if we start to spike up, right, and we come through 7,500 like a bat out of hell, and all of a sudden we're here in the 8,000 zone and we're starting to get very close to this area, then something else is going in on this market. And I do think that we could be heading up for a potential trend change, right? Now, obviously, it's going to take a series of higher highs and higher lows to change this trend, which again goes back to that time factor I've talked about. But I do want to give both sides of the trade. Again, I'm not doing these YouTube videos to try to be right. I'm just laying it out as best as I possibly can based on my analysis, based on what I've seen in Bitcoin, and I'm just putting it out there so you can use it with your own investment strategy. If you want investment advice, I do have a subscription service where I cover that, and that's at geometriccharts.com if you want to check that out. If not, I'm just laying it out there as best as I possibly can, okay? I did have a long trade-off. I I took my profits and I'm just kind of waiting to see what Bitcoin does here at this level. I am very concerned about what is happening in the volume. It literally looks like whoever's doing it, whether it's exchanges, whether it's hedge funds or whatever, it's big institutional buyers, whether it's bigger buyers that just got in Bitcoin at the right time, accumulated a lot, made a ton of money. I don't know, countries, etc. But whoever is doing this is literally, we're reiterating the same price action to the upside as we were during this entire move. So it makes me very, very wary of this move to the upside in Bitcoin, okay? While I am a short-term bull, I do think the bigger term picture is still bearish. And if the past provides any insight to the future, which it definitely has multiple times, then I do think it's not going to end well unless something dramatically changes in Bitcoin. And I'm talking like 10, 12, $15 billion 24-hour, and $15 billion in 24-hour transactions for the volume of Bitcoin. If we don't start seeing something like that, this major accumulation, which we've not received in Bitcoin, then I do not think it's going to have the strength it needs to make the trend change. Instead, it's just going to be a series of flopping over and relief rallies that are perceived to be the bottom because they're hyped up by other people and social media or mainstream media, whatever. And it just leads people to the wrong conclusions of what's going on in this chart. But at the end of the day, there's no denying this chart is showing you we're in a bear market. The only positive sign at the moment is that we're starting to flatten out. So we could be performing a bigger rounded bottom, which again is going to take a lot of time to make that trend change. And to me, that would be very bullish for Bitcoin, as I could easily see it coming back up to this 20,000 and exceeding that level in the future. That is still a long ways out though. So again, I laid out both sides of the trade for everybody. Again, I'm imagining some thrashing around in this area before we start to try to spike up higher. If Bitcoin is not able to spike higher and we just start flopping over and dropping significantly lower, and I'm talking if Bitcoin starts breaking under the mid 6,000 range, that's it. It's a wrap. We are going to smash the 5,700 bottom like it's not even there. If we're able to hold this up, spike up to that 74, 7,500 area, hold around that zone, and then topple over, we may have a chance of just reaching a very subtle low 5,000 area and probably just continuing this pattern of thrashing around at the bottom before finally building out a base to create a trend change. So that's the analysis for tonight. Again, I'll do another video on Friday. I thank everybody for their time, everybody for their support. If you do like the videos, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. I thank you, again for all the support I've received. If you want to check out my subscription service, you can check out my site, geometricharts.com. I cover Bitcoin, a multitude of altcoins, some of the stock market, Forex as well. And I go in much more detail about specific price areas, stops that I would give, or you can just ask and I'll provide a stop and etc. But that's it for tonight. So I'll talk to everybody Friday evening, and I hope everybody has a great day or a great night.